A lot of things that happen in 21st century wedding is embarrassing to say the least. This video you are watching was obtained from a wedding ceremony in Nigeria. Very embarrassing. How can this? How does this? How should this? How could this emanate from a wedding ceremony? What are we teaching people? What are we telling people? No wonder the ideology that people have about weddings and marriages these days is sex and sex and sex. And it's embarrassing. So this particular couple, in entertaining their audience in their wedding, decide to have this dance. And maybe the MC introduced that. And so that's why I keep laughing at some point when people begin to demand for certain level of MC to handle your event. This is what you get. And so now we have idolized sex as the only, or maybe the major, maybe the chief of what a marriage should carry. That is why this game or this activity happened in the wedding. And this has led me to mental research on why marriages are crashing. The list is endless. And so from this to that to these celebrities, private people, so it's not just pastors, everybody losing marriages because the tenets that brings us together, the principles, the values that bind us together is actually wrong. The foundation is wrong. That's why the scripture says that if the foundation be destroyed, what can even the righteous do? So when marriage has been created as a place for sex alone, just like this, the ideology is different. And so my worry now is that where are we going to from here? Where are we going to? So ladies now begin to think that all they need to have to prepare for marriage is to have a very, very ready private part. And so that's why every man you see these days is looking for how to enhance their sexual performance, because sex is the deal. Sex is the main thing. That's what we have been told. So the other day that man said,
who be that sweet girl now? Wait, see, you get nyash, you get breasts, you get stains, you can't sleep fine, you can't sabi cook. Normally, you be wife material. Normally, you be wife material.
Say wife material? Oh yes, fine, I understand, I agree. But the material in the hands of a wrong tailor will still be a wrong cloth. It's settled. So now I'm asking, why are you getting married? Why are people getting married these days? If wedding reception that is supposed to be the entrance of what a marriage is supposed to look like now has this as the only thing that you should use to entertain your people, you are telling people that sex is what you are going for. See, you can turn 360 degrees on a bed for a man, but when he's done with you, he's done. We should begin to practice other things that make marriage work. What about lifestyle? What about values? What about principle? What about forgiveness? What about tolerance? What about understanding? What about building ourselves in the foundation of what our family should be? So a young man is looking out for who would be better in bed to marry, rather than who will be able to take care of him and take him from ground 0 or 1 to the next level. So men are no longer looking at who can be able to mother their children to becoming great, looking for who they will knack to have good memories. So it's okay to have good sex. In short, one of the greatest ingredients in having successful marriage is that sex should be great. But you see, it is more than sex. Because if sex was the only and major thing that makes marriage sweet, then these ladies who are running around as prostitutes and runs girls should have the best marriage. So they don't. This is not to criminalize or berate anybody. Marriage can work, it may not work, may not be your fault. But you see, it is much more than this. It is much more than sex. There is life. You must get it right. May sense lead all of us.